Hello, I'm Nick UI from Manic Street Preachers.
And I am James Dean Bradfield from Manic Street Preachers.
So far it's been remarkably positive, considering what a loaded project we were taking on, and we were quite, I think everyone's quite aware of how incredibly passionate and detailed our fans are. And just for people who like us in general, I think they knew we were taking on something quite difficult. So far, things feel really good, but we all know that can change.
To be honest, it was something that I felt like I was revisiting a certain lyrical style, definitely. In terms of there are so many words in which he's kind of stanzas and verses and choruses and no punctuation. And I kind of quickly remembered what that was like, from the Holy Bible experience. Even though kind of some of the themes feel different, or even the various emotions feel different on this record, there's still that intent and lots of words to sing, and remarkably, I had some kind of muscle memory, as an athlete would say, and I kind of remembered what it was like from all those years ago, back in 1994.
I think, the general tone, or the topics on the record, we have certain ideas about them, but it feels wrong to have any kind of definite explanation or answer. I think generally this seems to be less utter disgust and anger, like the Holy Bible was so rageful. This seems to be the end of the process of consumption of culture. This seems to be a kind of confidence in his art and a slightly more sense of calmness to the proceedings, but I don't even know if that's true.
I think kind of some of the humour in the past has been quite well disguised, perhaps. But there are some lines on this album which, if you don't get the humour, then you're not trying. Oh, the joy, me and Stephen Hawking, we laughed. We missed the sex revolution when we felt the physical. That kind of got a chuckle from me straight away when I read it. And there is other stuff in the
Jackie
record.
Collins' existential question time in itself, and oh mummy, what's a sex pistol? It's not laugh out loud, ha ha ha. There's just a kind of ubu, surreal kind of pathos,
humour.
Yes, to the subject matter. It just comes through that mix of low art and high art, which I can't think of any other rock and roll band that get giant haystacks, the famed wrestler from the 70s, and Stephen Hawking in the same song.
There are bands that we like listening to. There are records that I'm listening to lots at the moment, but I can never ever compare Richie to anybody in terms of his lyrics. Sometimes when I go through some of these lyrics on the record, sometimes the only echo I hear in anybody else's lyrics is somebody like Marky Smith. The way that he can join two references together, and he can join certain types of language together and make them work seamlessly. That's the only comparison I can come up with. Other lyricists for Richie.
There's lots of bands. It's not to say that we expect every band to be like that. I can listen to the Horrors and be transported to a world that I absolutely love. It's a brilliant record. Or it's a bit when I'm listening to British Sea Power, or The Pains of Being Pure at Heart makes me feel I'm 16 and listening to C86 again. So I don't think we expect that. For me, if anything, I just started listening to a lot of the old Smith stuff again and realised that perhaps Morrissey was the last person who cared so much about lyrics, really, who just thought that at least 50%, if not more, of a band is about the words. I think Morrissey was about that, and I'm sure Richie did.
We don't want the world to be full of our kind of songs. I think we would be
our kind of people.
We'd find that intolerable.
I think the great thing, about being a band with a catalogue like we've got, and being the kind of statistician that I am, I can see that the Holy Bible sells sort of wherever it's 5,000-10,000 albums every single year. It has become one of those cult albums that you always gravitate to. For me, it was Closer by Joy Division, or Metal Machine Music by Lou Reed, which is utterly unlistenable, but you need that cult album when you're on the cusp of musical knowledge when you're 15. So I think Journal for Plague Lovers will fit that bill as well.
Manic.